we're actually supposed to be talking to Mia. She and her neighbor have chemistry, and it's been happening for a couple of months. And they did something about it, and now one of them is avoiding the other, and she wants us to get to the bottom of it.
Hey, Mia. Good morning. You're on the Bert Show.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing?
Doing good. All right, so tell us what's going on with this chemistry and all that.
Okay, so I live in this apartment building. I actually love it. It's really great. It has a pool, it has a fire pit that just opened up for the season. It has a gym and just a really great social scene. Like it's a bunch of young people who are honestly are really hot. But 4 months ago, this guy Andrew moved in, and he was always kind of flirty with me, but I knew he had a girlfriend, but he would act different when the girlfriend was around, and I never really understand that. But 2 weeks ago, we're hanging out at the fire pit, and I found out that he broke up with her, and I found out that he broke up with her because he was interested in someone else. Now, he never said, like, who it was, so I wasn't sure if it was me, but by the way he was acting, I definitely thought it was me, especially since we hooked up that night. And then he hung out in the morning, he left, but that was 2 weeks ago, and I haven't seen him at the pit for the last 2 weekends, and he hasn't been to the pool, he hasn't walked his dog, and trust me, I've been looking, but I never got his number. I did DM him, and he never responded, and he didn't even, open it up. So I asked one of our neighbors if she's seen him, and she said she did. So I know he's alive.
That's a start.
All right.
I don't know what happened. I don't know why he disappeared. Did he get back with his girlfriend? It's just very confusing. I don't know why we hooked up and he ghosted me. So I know he listens to the show, and I just hope that you guys can help me find out some answers.
All right, let's try to figure this mystery out. We already got answers for you. Tommy already reached out to this guy, so we'll tell you those here in a couple of minutes. So you guys had this chemistry, you hooked up, and then he ghosted. This is a tale as old as time. I think he got the good stuff, and he went back to the girlfriend.
Yeah, I was, as I was listening to you talk, I was kind of thinking about, I don't know if phenomenon is the right word.
Phenomenon.
I don't know if I can say this on the radio because I've said it once and it didn't go over well. But do you know post blank clarity?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I almost wonder if it was a case of that, of he thinks you're super hot, so points there. But then once he actually got what he was hoping for, it was just kind of like, okay, well, I see things clearly now.
Yeah, in full transparency, that's what it seems like. He was in a relationship, and, he's now out of the relationship. He's a bit vulnerable, and he's probably taking advantage of the fact that he's got this newly found freedom. And once he conquered the mountain, for lack of a better way of putting it, he probably was just like, that was that.
Or is this the classic Friends episode that they were on a break? So dude hooks up while they're on a break and then gets the clarity that you're talking about after one really great night.
Or do you think it's kind of like that guy with the big ego we had on where he really wanted to cheat with this one girl, but he was like, oh, I don't want to cheat on her, so I'll break up with her. Yeah. So maybe he broke up with his girlfriend so that he could technically not cheat, sleep with you, and then once he got what he wanted, he went back to the girlfriend.
It's like something he just needed to get out of his system.
Yeah.
But he wanted to do it in an quote unquote ethical way.
Yeah. It was ethical cheating, right?
But I'm sure you feel used, Mia. I mean, the guy comes over. You guys have had a little bit of a flirtatious interaction. He comes over, you all hook up, and then he completely goes MIA. I mean, you're not the first woman this has happened to.
No, she is.
You won't be the last. But I can imagine you're kind of like, dude, WTF. I feel like it was just like a wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Look, maybe this is really out of the box thinking here, but if you guys have a physical night like that and he ghosts you, right? I mean, you don't have his number or anything like that, but you did have this intimate time. Is it considered psycho behavior to knock on the door and say, hi, what's going on?
I don't think it is. I think it's really I mean,
That was an intimate 6-7 minutes.
So if I was in Mia's position, the thing is, when a woman does that, it gets turned around on her, and she looks into the psycho one. Like,
but she would be entitled to do that, right?
No, I don't even think you're entitled to do that. I mean, he's telling you everything we need to know. It's so weird. People are always like, I need a sign. I need to know, like, if this is the right person for me, if they're really into me or not. Normalize just accepting that they just weren't that into you. If you're into someone, you're not just going to ghost them for 2 weeks. You're going to be up in their DMs. You're going to be up in their text messages. So I just think whatever happened and that night, for better or for worse, just wasn't what he hoped it would be.
And this is skeezy behavior.
It's skeezy. It doesn't make it right. This guy's a total D-bag, so I don't want you to feel like this is your fault, but he's just not feeling it.
So the skeezy behavior is him just not following up.
Correct.
Because she was just as skeezy that night as he was.
Well, no, she wasn't skeezy. The skeeziness, no.
It was two It was two people mutually agreeing. So long as we're not labeling him skeezy for having a one-night stand.
No, he's not skeezy for having a one-night stand. He's skeezy because he slept with somebody and then completely ditched them and never spoke to her again.
Right. I'm not debating that fact, but she didn't build anything with him. She knew he was fresh out of a relationship. He was in a vulnerable state. I mean, it took two to tango in that situation.
For sure it took two to tango, but she's not skeezy. He's skeezy.
We will debate the skeeziness. And give me results, because we did reach out to this guy. We got some answers for her. Let's find out what exactly is going on here, because our studio director, Tommy, reached out to Dude. And do you have results?
Yes, Andrew is built that way.
That explains it.
Okay.
I reached out to him. I've got more details, but I reached out to him yesterday via text, and we went back and forth, and I got the answers. I said, hey, Andrew, it's Tommy from The Bert Show. Hope you're doing well. Quick question. Are you familiar with The Bert Show and our segment, Second Date Update? I heard you might be. And he said, hey, Tommy, yeah, I know the segment. I've heard your show. What's up? And I said, great. So we had a listener, Mia, reach out to us about a situation involving you, and she's wondering what happened after you two hung out that one night. Mind if I fill you in? And he said, sure, go ahead. And I said, so Mia mentioned that you two had a fun time together after a community gathering, but since then she hasn't seen you around, and you haven't responded to her message. She's curious about what's going on. And he said, yeah, we did hang out that night, but honestly, I've been busy lately. And I said, busy with?
Other women.
Mark? Well, with a lot of things, he said. I didn't realize I had to justify my schedule. And then I said, Mia thought there may have been something more between you two, especially since you mentioned breaking up with your girlfriend because you were interested in her. He said, I never once said it was her. I did break up with my girlfriend because I was interested in someone else, but it was not her. And I said, so you're interested in someone else? And he said, yes, someone that I've been hanging out with for the past couple of weeks. Hence, I've been busy. And I said, so what about Mia? And he said, what about her? We just had a fun night. I hope she had fun too. That's it. And I said, understood. Thanks for clarifying. I'll pass this on to Mia delicately. And by delicately, I mean reading what he just said. Appreciate your honesty, Andrew. And he said, no problem.
How you feel about that, Mia?
I can't even say what I want to say on the radio. I can't believe he would do that. Oh my.
Do what?
So he wasn't ever interested in me.
No, he just wanted a hookup.
Oh my.
Did he promise you more at any point with his words?
He just was always so flirty. I mean, even when he had a girlfriend, he was really flirty with me. So
You felt led on?
His actions were showing. Yeah,
Okay.
I thought his actions were showing like he really liked me.
Mia, if it makes you feel any better,
So frustrating.
I completely feel you. But if this makes you feel better, I honestly think you dodged a bullet. This guy was clearly interested in somebody else and was still willing to hook up with you, knowing he was going to pursue something with some other woman. I think this guy can't make up his mind. He clearly has some kind of commitment issue because he dumped his girlfriend for somebody else. But before he even got with that somebody else, he got with you. So really, I think even though it doesn't feel like it right now, I think you honestly are better for not being with this man. And you got it out of your system. You never have to wonder what if with this guy.
Well, first she took a bullet and then she dodged a bullet.
But you survived the bullet.
There you go.
And now she's going to have to use a magic bullet.
Another bullet.
Wow.
And you can get those on adamandeve.com. Use code Abby.
The Bert Show.